Grand Rising Soul Tribe, Tracy here with Sweet Spot e-magazine. Thank you so very much for the likes, shares, views, subscribes, comments, the generous donations, super chats, super thanks, all of that. Hypes, I appreciate it all. Let's go ahead and ring the bell. Let's clear out this energy, and then we'll see what the message the Spirit has for us Friday morning, January 2nd, or whenever you happen to see this. Someone knows it's time to stop lying. They know it's time to like they say, cut the shit. Because whatever they've been trying to do, at first it seemed like it worked, but then it got to be too much. Because they lied this lie, and then they had to back that up with another lie, and then back that up with 3 more lies, and then back it up with some more lies. And then it's like someone would ask them about that first lie, which they forgot all the information. So then they had to lie about this and lie about that, and it's getting to be too much. Hey, Malcolm. So they know it's time. And they were hesitant to stop lying before because they wanted to save face. They were thinking about how they looked in the world. They were thinking about their reputation. Hey, J. Mike. Hey, the soul archetype. But now, no matter what them thinking about as far as their reputation, they know they squandered it already because of that first lie. Bottom of the deck. Hey, Marcia. They know. It's time. It's been time. And see, they know that, them exploring or having the opportunity to lie because they were worried about their own reputation. That's what got them messed up. That's what got them messed up. And it's like it was impossible to keep up this lie because every time they looked at you, you were being blessed more and more and more. And now they can't handle it. They have to seek guidance. Everybody's telling them to get help. They're like, get help. You're losing it. You're losing your mind trying to keep up a lie on something that's not even true. Hey, Red Violet. This person, and they can't sleep at night. They can't sleep at night because their money is affected. Their money is affected and yours is being blessed. See, it's time for them to work on their inner strength. It's time for them to have that courage to finally tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but that truth. It's time for them to finally clean up all of the lies that they said about you. Not just 1 or 2, but all of them. So that they can finally put behind them that feeling of being stuck. Stuck in the muck, in the mire of spreading nothing but false misconceptions, bold-faced lies about you. They know that you didn't deserve this. You didn't do anything wrong. You did nothing to hurt them, but yet because of them not loving themselves and them starting to lie on you, they wanted to get revenge for lying on you. This is divine timing. Spirit has stepped into the building and told this person, it's time for you to boss up. It's time for you to get that courage. It's time for you to tell the truth. See, this person, for whatever reason, them looking at you made them feel envious or jealous, like they were less than. They felt small compared to you. But that's not your issue. That's something that they need to work on. Confirmation. They're watching you be in your bag. They're watching your money increase because you are not afraid to be yourself. See, this person listened to somebody else who wanted them to follow this protocol to fit the mold. And now this person is realizing that them fit the mold has made them look moldy. They need to work on, they were so worried about the outside of what they look like, as opposed to the inside of who they truly were. This person, it's time for them to get on their grind, to really put in the hard work. And that hard work starts with them filling their cup, finding out who they are, what's up with them, as opposed to worrying about what's up with you, what's up with the collective. See, these are burdens that this person didn't think, they never expected these to hit them like that. They thought that they could say this lie, and because people used to look up to this person, people used to believe this person and what this person had to say. But when it started coming out, and the way that it was coming out is because you was just on your grind, you was just doing you wasn't trying to please anyone else, especially outside people. You was just trying to make sure that you was okay and pleasing to God, pleasing you. This is when the lies started to be exposed. This is when they started to be exposed. This is when they really started lying. This person, it's like they finally had to follow their North Star. They finally made a wish so that they could all let it just end. It got to the point where they couldn't sleep at night. They're having problems eating. Their money is funny. Their car was is breaking down. They got to put money into that. Their other relationships are suffering, all because somebody wanted to lie on you. This person, it was like they wanted to be in the flow of things. But they didn't realize them being in the flow did not necessarily mean that, they were having all types of relationships with everybody else. Them being in the flow means that they know who they are, flowing with God, flowing with the Most High, flowing in truth, filling yourself up, being content with yourself, loving on yourself, because that love does not come from the outside. Love don't work from the outside in. It only works from the inside out. Now this person is dreaming what it is to love themselves. Now this person is finally going within and working on themselves, and they're awakening. And them awakening, it is meaning that they're finding out that they have to be honest, that they're going to have to sacrifice their reputation, because it's already went to shit. People are already talking about them. People are already saying, yeah, hey, how you doing? How you doing? Don't believe him, he's a liar. Hell yeah. Oh, okay. How's everything else going? Oh, okay. They're already feeling like this person is nothing but a bold ass face liar. Hey, Nicolisa. And then they're watching you. They're watching you and everything that you do, and you are gaining momentum. People are looking at you like you are the it girl or the it guy, because you know what? You was always truthful. You never felt like you had to be anybody else except for 100% yourself. This is what this person is doing right now. Going within, doing their shadow work, looking at themselves, trying to figure out who they are. We're trying to remember what it is that they are here to do. And what they're here to do is not to lie on you. That is for sure. See, somebody they want to make this fresh start. They want to start over. They want to follow the spark. They want to be healed like you're healed. They want to be truthful like you're truthful. Hey, Melissa. Hey, Mike, how are you? It's time for this person to rebuild themselves, rebuild their spiritual home within themselves. It's time for this person to grow up, to ascend, to mature. It's time for this person to really work on themselves so that they can be who they are meant to be and not who somebody else said, if you lie on the collective, you're going to be the man. You're going to be, because, you just need to tear them down. No, it's not. Life is not about tearing somebody else down. Happiness is definitely not about tearing somebody else down. This person didn't think that everything that they did to hurt you was going to come right back on them. They didn't know how blessed you were. They didn't know how protected you were. They didn't know that you were God's favorite child. They didn't know that you had a seat at the throne. They didn't know that you knew how to get down. That's why you wear that crown. There's a whole lot that this person didn't know about you. It wasn't meant for them to know about you, because this person was only sent here to work on them and what their purpose is. And their purpose was not to tear you down. This is why this person is feeling so sad about everything. They're in grief by it. They're depressed because of everything they tried to do to get over on you, to make you look a certain way, to make you seem like you was losing your mind, to make you seem you was like you was lazy, busted and disgusted, like they was just being so patient with you, like they was so giving with you. Well, none of that shit was true. Absolutely none of it was true. And people are seeing this. This is all fair. People are looking at the big picture because they're looking at your life. You looking like you got it going on, baby. You got it going on. And then they're looking at their life like, damn, you need another $10 loan? You're asking for $5 more? They're like, sis, dude, you ain't got $5 to your name? What about those credit cards? Oh, the credit cards are shut down. What about that savings? You was tricked out your savings. What about that big jar of change? Oh, you cashed the change in. Okay. See, this is the person that needs to work on their inner child. This is the one who needs to work on themselves, who needs to look at why they felt like they needed to come for you, especially since you never, ever, ever sent for them. If they want to manifest, then they're going to have to create their own life, not try to destroy your life. This person is now realizing, because they're starting to look at everything, why their shit is falling because there was a follower. They're sitting here, people are looking at them where they was comparing themselves to you. If you got to compare yourself to the collective, baby, you already don't measure up. Okay, Tink Tink? And then they wanted to act like they was out here doing acts of service in the community whenever everything that they did, they had an ulterior motive. Everything that they did, they had an ulterior motive. And you was just doing shit from your heart because this is part of your purpose. This is part of what God said God wants you to do. It's like you took the time to indulge in yourself, to love on yourself, to find out who you are, to find out what you like and what you don't like, to make certain decisions about what you're going to accept and what you won't accept, to know what is a red flag, what is a no-go, what is a I'm not going to deal with that bullshit. You worked on what you wanted in a soulmate. Because you know what? The type of soulmate that you're looking for is the type of soulmate that you are going to be. And sometimes people think that they're looking for this, that, and they gotta have this, they gotta have that, they gotta have and this and that. Their money gotta be like, they gotta do this, they gotta drive that, they gotta own this, they gotta, this type of job, they gotta make this type of money. But is that you? Because if that's not you, then how dare you look for somebody that you can't even measure up to, that you can't even put that into the same pot. If you find that you working, feel good that you working, you got your little part-time job, but and you feel like you tricking people out of money, and as long as you put it down, then somebody's gonna take care of your rent, your nails, your hair, the clothes, and this and that. Or you feel like you gotta be super duper half nickel slick on trying to trick somebody, then that's what you deserve. You don't deserve the king when you coming like the pauper. If you a pauper, just acknowledge that you a pauper, that you living in the bottom two rungs, but stop looking for the one who's at the top. Stop looking for that CEO. Until you can get to be that CEO status, then you need to look for somebody that's your equal. See, somebody, they got turned off because they found out that you were spiritual. You wasn't following a tradition. My daddy, my daddy's daddy, my daddy's daddy's daddy, and the daddy's 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 daddy. We all went to church. We all went to this. We all felt like the best way was if we opened up. We looked at the book of Nunjulations, verse 29. Book chapter such and such, and it said, you will be the pimp, you will be the player forever, and just and that. And yeah. No, they didn't like that you were spiritual, that you didn't feel like you had to go to church to follow what somebody else was saying. When you saw that person just at the booty club making it rain with somebody else who had the butt cheeks, the ass cheeks to go up and down the stripper pole, offering to clean the pole after them. You didn't want to follow that type of person. You wanted to follow who God truly is. You didn't want to follow the person who, you saw them, after church, throwing dice and shit, cussing up a storm, pulling that Thunderbird out their pocket, taking a swig and putting it back in, turning the cap to the back. You didn't want to follow them. Just because your daddy's daddy, your daddy's daddy, but did all that, you didn't want to do that. You wanted to really follow what God was saying. Oh, good. We stopped spinning. Good. And then on top of that, you decided that you was going to choose love. You wasn't going to get with somebody because they make money and they cute and all, and I would look good riding in their car, and and they do this and do that for me. No, you didn't want to do all that. You was cool being individual. You was cool being independent. You was cool being in a Okay, we're back. We're back there, Mike. Thank you. Yeah, you wasn't trying to just choose anybody. You was going to wait until you was in love and there was somebody that was in love with you. So what if that meant that you was going to be in a single status while everybody else that you saw was getting married and then getting divorced? You know, you took what they called the road less traveled. You didn't want to go to the highs and the lows, and then the highs and then the lows, and then the highs and then the lows again, just for the sake of I'm married. You were just going to stay even keel and single until you found somebody that was even keeled and single as well. You know, somebody thought that, and this is what somebody had to learn. This is like that they're mirroring, because we got 54. Oh, we did have 54 and 45, but now we got 54 and 46. But thanks for the extra light. Now somebody's realizing that outer attachment, that don't make a person. What they got, all that bullshit that they got, that don't make a person. That makes them feel more and more like empty on the inside. Because if they lose all that shit, and that's all it is shit. When they lose all that shit, there goes that fame, because they lost their fortune. Everybody, that's when they find out who was with them and who wasn't really with them, who was their friend and who wasn't really their friend. Because if you didn't have anything, you couldn't go to the club or go to the bar and pop bottles anymore and pay for all the shit. Hey, another round on me. Then your status starts to go down. Hey, Angelique, how are you, sweetie? Thank you so very much. See, somebody's finding out that that they want to actually, and they need to actually walk in your shoes. Somebody's finding out it's time for them to let these lies die. It's time for them to tell the truth and shame that motherfucking devil. They didn't get anything from all those lies. They got absolutely nothing except played by the devil. Except they lost their fortune. They lost their self-respect. They lost their integrity. They lost their word. That's the important shit that somebody had to realize what they had to lose before they started lying on you. Well, really what they wanted to do was build a home with their soulmate. But you know what? Until they could find their soulmate, they had to find themselves. You know, and it could be that their soulmate reads tarot. It could be that's the one that they look at. That's the one that they connect with. You know? And this person is realizing that, yeah, they had a lot of people looking at them. They had a lot of people look at them because they had a lot of stuff. But it was not until they went through that dark night of the soul and started really ascending into who they actually are, they were still in grief. They had to go through that dark night to find themselves. What's the message, Spirit? What's the message? Yeah, something about the big picture. And I feel like that big picture has to do with them dealing with those inner child demons. You know, realizing that it's okay for them to be them. Because then without them not dealing with those demons, it just caused a lot of burdens. It's okay to be you. It's okay not to be perfect. It's okay if everybody don't like you. It's okay if everybody don't understand you, because those are the people that haven't worked on themselves. It's time for somebody to put something to end something. And I see this 444. It's time for somebody to finish feeling like they have to be in some type of race. What you racing for? What you racing to? Life is not a marathon. It's one of those what is, it's not a race. It's a journey. You don't have to strive to be number one. Number one in what? All you have to do to strive is to be yourself, to know yourself, to love yourself. That's what you have to strive to do, to know who you are as a person. Love yourself as a person. And then everything else comes into play. See, this person is now thinking about what can they do, daydreaming about manifesting and everything. But it's like now it's like they have to work on themselves. After they work on themselves, then they can create what it is that they want. Hey, the light. How are you, sweetie? You have a blessed day too. See, somebody's looking at you and they wondering how you did it. And what you did was you let everything go that was not for you, that was not of you, that didn't represent you. You had to learn to let all that shit go. What people was talking about you, how people felt about you, you had to let all that go, because really in the big scheme of things, it didn't matter. It never mattered. What mattered was that you found yourself. You was on your grind to find who you were. That's all that mattered. And what everybody else thinking about how you look, fuck all that. It didn't make a difference, because God can change anything in the matter of a day, in the matter of an hour, in a split second, things can change. You could be looking like fine as wine, honey. You got the body of the Adonis or a goddess and this and that and the other. And then you wake up the next day and you like, damn, why am I so bloated? What's going on? Oh, what happened to my face? What happened to my hair? God can take all of it away and humble you real quick. So that's not the important thing. What's important is that this person is in the middle of divine timing right now. So it's time for them to grow. It's time for them to mature. It's time for them to go indulge a little bit and to find out why they are sad. Because this person ain't even happy with who they are, who they represent themselves to be. If you got to represent yourself, you're not being you. There's not one time I feel like I got to represent myself. I got to do this. I got to meet this standard. No, all I got to do is show up and be Tracy. Collective knows that collective, all they got to do is show up and be them. Light has to be light. J Mike has to be J Mike. Angelique has to be Angelique. Melissa got to be Melissa. Mike Taylor News just got to show up and be Mike Taylor News. Nicolisa just got to be Nicolisa. Create just got to be Shelly. Red Violet just got to be herself. Everybody knows that's all they got to do. Malcolm just got to be Malcolm. Ain't nobody else we ain't got to act like we nobody else. We just got to love ourselves. And that's what God wants us to do. It's all good when we do that. It's all good. But when we don't do that, then that's when we lose sleep. That's when we have all these burdens because we got to feel like, oh, wait, if I'm not who I said I was, I'm going to be rejected. The world is not going to like me. You know what? Fuck that. Fuck them. Fuck their feelings. Fuck their thoughts. And fuck all of that bullshit. Somebody is realizing that they want to be more like you, not just like you, because they got to be themselves, but they want to follow in your footsteps of how you overcame, how you really got this fresh start. They want to feel like, what do I have to do just to be, myself? Where you feel so comfortable if somebody say something about you, you like, oh, okay, well, whatever. Think what you want to think. It don't make a difference. You're not the person that's gonna be like, that's not me. That's not true. I don't do that. Because you don't give a shit. Let them think what they want to think. Because the proof is in the pudding. When they're watching your money go up, your status going up, because people see that you have honesty, integrity, you're responsible, you're mature, then everything that they said crumbles. Who gives a shit what somebody else say or think? That person need to be worrying about their own salvation, not yours. They ain't trying to help. If they talking about you, they definitely ain't trying to help get you through the gates of heaven. They need to worry about getting themselves through the gates, not you. You take care of you and they will take care of them. That's what they need to be worrying about. Instead of trying to hold somebody back, hold somebody down because you don't feel good about you. You know how crazy that shit sounds? Oh, you don't feel good. I don't feel good about me. So I'm going to make sure somebody don't cross the finish line. Do your own motherfucking shadow work and shut the fuck up. That's how that shit go. That's how that shit go. And then the fact that Collective has done our shadow work and we find with however we look, rolls and all, extra muscle down here that shakes whenever we lift our arm up or put our arm down. We find if we got that turkey neck or whatever, or we feel like we too bony, we feel like we too big. We good with however we look because we still draw on the attention because we feel good about ourselves on the inside. We love ourselves. That's what makes us shine. See, somebody need to work on themselves. They need to get some, like they told us, you need to get you some professional help. Well, thank you. Game recognized game, don't it? So if you telling us we need to get some professional help, what is it that you need to do, boo? You need to do the same shit too. See, they can't sleep because we have ascended. How crazy is that? You can't sleep because we ain't worried about what you think. If you worked on yourself, maybe your bag would grow, and therefore you wouldn't be worrying about what other people thought. Get on your grind as opposed to sitting here trying to compare yourself to somebody else. Then watch your money grow. Watch your status grow. Worry about the words that you're speaking. Is that the truth? Or is that some more made up shit that's getting ready to be torn down because you ain't going to sit here and come out the bag and try and defend yourself? You're going to let time tell. What's the message, Spirit? Anything else? Anything else? Somebody realized that it's time for them to just tell the truth. Like I said, tell the truth and shame the motherfucking devil. And then once you tell the truth and shame the devil, kick the motherfucking devil out the damn door, close the door, lock it, double bolt it, and then turn and throw away the motherfucking keys. Work on yourself. Work on your own heart. Work on making you feel good about you. Because in the end, that devil is not going to be there when you on your last day, in that last hour, on that last minute, in that last second. The only time the devil's going to be there is talking about somebody. I'll take that soul, thank you. But that's not who you want to see. You want to go up, not down. So somebody, like hey, Neo-Ra energy. It's like somebody got to really understand what life is really about. And it's not about having a whole bunch of shit around you like, yeah, and we got the gold over here, we got platinum over here, and we keep the other shit locked up in the safe, for those really special times. And when does that special time ever come? Never. It's not about, following somebody because they think that they got it going on, or they told you how you need to live your life and what you need. That's not it. Somebody, it's like they want to follow your shoes. They now want to be spiritual. They don't feel like they gotta go to the same church that they daddy and they daddy and daddy went to. They can do it on their own. They can speak to God by themselves. You don't have to have somebody else translate. Well, what you want to tell God? Tell God that I'm praying for a car. Hold on. Let me get that prayer through to you. Okay, dear God, this person has come to me and they want to pray for a car. So give them a Yugo. Excuse me, I didn't ask for a Yugo. I asked for a Cadillac. Shush. Do not interrupt me in the middle of your prayer. I'm getting you what I feel you should have. Give them a Yugo, God. No, pray for yourself. Establish your own connection. Because somebody can't pray like you pray. They can't ask for what you ask for because they don't want you to have what you want to have. They want you to have what they want you to have. Stop following people. Stop following. Be a leader. Good day. Be a leader, not a follower. People don't respect the followers. They only respect the leaders. It's like manifest what you want, not what somebody else feel you deserve. Ask for your own blessings. Don't let somebody else come and they be like, I'm going to pray for you. And they only want to ask for certain things because they don't want you to be bigger than them. They don't want you to have more than them. They don't want you to be any different than them. They want you to feel rejected. This is why it's time for you to go ahead and love being you. Unapologetically you. All right, y'all. I'm going to leave it right there. I got to jump on this doggone work computer and do my straight 8. But today is Friday. Woo! And I'll be back this evening. I love you all. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. I really do appreciate you all and all the energy. Okay? Have a wonderful day. If you're working today, if you're off, enjoy your day off. And we'll see each other this evening. Bye now.